From June 11 to 13, the 2021 G7 Summit gathered at Orbis Bay in Cornwall, United Kingdom. This year, the 7 member countries are joined by guest countries Australia, India, South Korea, and South Africa. The presence of 3 Indo-Pacific powers is particularly relevant. Indeed, in recent times, there has been much talk about the possible creation of a so-called D10. The idea, proposed by UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson in May 2020, would expand the G7 into a larger group, including Australia, India, and South Korea. In this video, we will learn about the purpose and capabilities of this new reformation, so let us open our eyes.
Open your eyes for the next saga.
According to Johnson, the D10, short for Democratic 10, should be a group of leading democracies established to cooperate on matters such as 5G and supply chains. But given the increasingly confrontational rhetoric between China and the West, the group is promoted more broadly as a possibility for democratic countries to team up in confronting Beijing's assertive behaviors. The G7 was founded in 1975 to coordinate policies between the largest and most advanced democracies. However, since then, the world balance of power has changed dramatically. Thus, it would make sense to reform the organization. All G7 countries, except Japan, belong to the Euro-Atlantic region. While this may have been logical in the 1970s, the growing power in the Indo-Pacific region has altered foreign policy dynamics globally. Economically speaking, while the G7 countries once accounted for around 70% of global nominal GDP, today the figure is much lower, at around 50%, due to the eastward turn of the global economy. Since the 2008 global financial crisis, the G7 has been replaced by the G20 as the meeting to discuss international economic affairs. G20 countries now represent around 80% of world GDP. From a geopolitical standpoint, despite the ever-present tensions between Russia and the West, it is the Indo-Pacific that is becoming a formidable competition. Therefore, it seems reasonable to include the 3 leading Indo-Pacific democracies in what would become the top forum for the world's major democratic countries. The presence of India would bring an influential country, which is also on its way to become the world's biggest country by population. Following since its recent clashes with China, New Delhi is likely to welcome closer ties with the US and the others. Australia is a confident middle power, as demonstrated by its stance in the quarrels with Beijing over the origins of the pandemic. South Korea is considered a success story in managing the COVID-19 pandemic and its soft power, the result of efforts to invest in and export its own forms of popular culture, has been steadily increasing in recent years, spreading around the globe. Cornwall's G7 may be the moment when the new group begins to cooperate more closely. Its initial focus would be on 5G issues and supply chain vulnerabilities, areas in which there are growing tensions between China and the 10 democracies. However, in the coming years, the suggested forum could be well positioned to take a leading role in orienting approaches to a number of global challenges, such as climate change, pandemic prevention and preparedness, the development of artificial intelligence, and the global economic recovery from COVID-19 pandemic. Moreover, the D10 summit appears to be the ideal coalition for members to negotiate their fractured relationship with Beijing, from economic coercion to human rights abuses. The D10 could be the democratic counterbalance to China's own assertive actions. The gathering has become an opportunity where members could coordinate their policy towards China by adopting joint actions. Thank you for watching. See you again for the next saga.